Wanderer here, coming at you from my van down by the river. So I have to talk for a minute about the cowards of Broward County. The tapes, the 911, the dispatch tapes, have been released around the shooting in Florida. And just like I said in my video, I know why the deputies stayed outside the school. They claim that their training says that they should charge in to save the people. But it seems apparent for anyone who listens to these dispatch tapes that they were sending the deputies to corral traffic and to establish a perimeter, just like I told you they would, just like they always do. You know, they say that they're being trained to storm the castle on these shootings, but so far, no one ever has. No one has. They always do the same thing. They set up a perimeter, they control traffic, they try to get the rest of the kids out of the buildings, and then when the kids are out of the buildings and the shooting has been over for a very long time, then they go in to try to find the shooter, usually either finding his body or cornering him where he kills himself. Why don't they just assault the buildings and corner him so he kills himself sooner? This is the part of their training. They say that they're being trained one way, but they're acting in another. Are they acting in opposite of their training, or are they acting in concert with their true training? They claim they're training these people to be heroes, but, I don't necessarily think heroes can be trained, although the Marine Corps would argue with that point against me. They would claim that you can make an average Joe a hero. Well, if that's true, they should send some of them for some Marine Corps training, because these boys in Broward County were not heroes. Nor did any of them, according to these dispatch tapes that are released, nor did any of them seem like they were wanting to be a hero. That they were all in agreement from the top to the bottom on how to handle this. Establish a perimeter. That's it. Control traffic. Police aren't heroes anymore. They aren't responders. They're cleanup men. They come in afterwards and they sort out what happened. This is why we need personal firearms for protection, because the police aren't going to protect us. They're going to establish a perimeter while we're all being raped, robbed, and murdered. That really, if you look at the big picture, what are they doing in Chicago against all of this crime and all of these killings that are happening in Chicago? Like 50 murders a day are happening in Chicago and nobody's even paying attention. You know why? The police are just establishing a perimeter around the bad neighborhoods. What did the police do in Europe when they have these no-go zones erupt, where these criminal gangs have taken whole cities, where police now fear to go? Police fear to go there. Where are the heroes? All they do in the no-go cities is establish a perimeter and say, I wouldn't go in there, there's bad guys in there. Which is exactly what they did in Broward County. Don't go. There's one guy that says, don't get within 500 feet of that building. He tells all the other police officers, don't get within 500 feet of the building where the shooting's going on. I'm sorry, that makes me angry. Oh, see that building over there where all the children are getting killed? And I know you're a cop and all, and I know you have a gun and body armor, but don't go within 500 feet of that building. Not only are our police officers cowardly nowadays, they're being trained to be cowardly. They're being commanded to be cowardly. Because let's face it, they're being led by cowards. They're being led by people who, even though they have guns and armor, and in some cases armored vehicles, they're still afraid to confront a 19-year-old boy with a deer rifle. What is wrong with this world? Where are the real men? Let's start with a ban on soy if you're a police officer. No soy consumption. I mean, do we need to start testing these people's testosterone? Do we need to... I'm so sexist right now because there's women cops too, but you know what? My sister God rest her soul. My sister would have stormed that place with a water pistol. My sister was a elementary school teacher who taught special ed in school. If they would have come into her class, do you think she would have hid under the desk? She would have hid the kids under the desk, and then she would have bashed the guy's head in with the bottle of whiskey she kept in the drawer of her. Yeah, my sister was an alcoholic. She would have charged him. She would have hit him in the head with her bottle. She would have thrown books at him. She would have scratched his eyes out with her thumbnails. She would have died trying. It's really not a man, woman, or even a testosterone thing. It's a matter of backbone. You know what it is? Americans don't have any backbone anymore. You've all turned spineless. I say you because I got backbone. If you don't think so, jump me. I'll give you what the Robinson guy gave those Antifa members in that clip. Have you seen that? Whoops 10 of them by himself. Sends them off running with their tail between their legs. This one guy. The Broward County cowards. Well, the evidence is there. They never intended to go in. In fact, they told everyone don't go in. They were kept from going in by the brass above them. And what is the net result besides the 17 deaths? Now you got to be 21 to buy a gun in Florida. God save our republic.